What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Maths Guide. Today we're going to look at how to create line graphs and when they are used. So let's waste no time, let's go. Okay, so what do we need to remember today? Well, we need to remember that a line graph is used to show how something changes over time. And this time part is really important. So if we think about it, we could use line graphs to measure rainfall over the course of a day, or we can measure the temperature, or anything else over time, maybe the height of something, etc., etc. So before we get into it, I'm going to draw just a very quick sketch of what a line graph could look like, and this is going to be very rough. So we would obviously have our y and our x-axis. So we'd have our x-axis and our y-axis, and then it's typical to put time across the bottom, and our other variable could be temperature on the y. And then essentially on our line graph, we would end up with these little crosses. We'll learn how to do this in a moment. And then we simply create a line between them to create this line graph. So this is what we're aiming to build today. So let's have a little look at how we can do that. But first we need some data. So I've got this data here for us. If we look, we have time in this first column, and we can see it goes up in 5-minute intervals from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And then we have the temperature in this column just here, and we can actually see that the temperature goes down. We have 65, 62, 59, 57, all the way down to 47 degrees. So this set of data is actually from a mug of tea. Maybe it's your teacher's mug. We put it at the front of the classroom, and we stuck a thermometer inside it that measures temperature, and then every 5 minutes we measured the temperature. So it makes sense that it started hot, and as the time went on, it got cooler and cooler. So now it's time to try and think about our line graph. And if we're going to build a line graph, we need some squared paper, because we're going to try and do this really accurately. And before I just randomly start drawing lines, I want to try and find out how many squares I'm going to need to use. So as we said, the time is usually going to be our x-axis. And in the x-axis, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different times. So I'm going to need 10 squares along this bottom x-axis. So there is 10 squares. However, I think these squares are pretty close together, so it might be quite hard to understand and see the data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a bit bigger, just like that. And now it's actually going to be 2 of these boxes which represent 1 time interval. We'll get to that part in a moment. Now let's look at our temperature data. So we have this data just here in this column. And it's not quite the same this time, because we're not looking for just how many intervals we have. We would know we would have 10 again. What we're looking for is the range. The range means the smallest to the largest value. So we can see my smallest starts at 47 and I go up to 65. That's a gap of 18. So I could draw 18 squares along here, starting with 47 all the way up to 65. But unfortunately, I actually don't have that space. When I've just calculated them up, I only have 15. So I've got to try and do something else. So what I could do is I could have each of these squares represent 2 degrees of change. Again, starting with 47. Okay, now I'm ready to start populating my axes. And because this is a line graph, we use the lines of the squares on our paper rather than the gaps between it. So let's look at our x-axis first of all, and we can see that this part here must represent our 0. So I'm going to put that down there just so we can clearly see it. Then we said that every 2 would be each interval. So this will be 5, this will be 10, and then this is 15, 20. You can see I'm going 2 jumps every time, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50 minutes just for the sake of it. And we've done that so that we've got a bit more room on our graph and it's just a bit more visible. If we had squashed it all up, it would be quite hard to see. So now we've done our x-axis, we can just label this as the x-axis, and we're now going to have a go at our y-axis. Now, we're not actually starting at 0 this time, because it's so far from 0 to 47 that our graph would end up being super, super tall, and all of our data would be right up at the top. So we're going to start with 45 potentially, just a little bit less than our smallest number of 47. So our first interval is going to be 45. But to show that, what we're going to do is we're going to create this little wiggly line just like that there. And that shows that we're not actually starting from 0. And this mark here is now 45. Then my next one would be 47, because remember we said we're going up in 2s, then 49, 51, 53. I'm trying to be really accurate to stay on the line with my line, as you can see. 55, 57, 59, 61, 63, 65, 67, and let's just do one more, 69 for the sake of it. So now we are ready to begin. We've kind of created our axes for our graph. But we just need to label them. So this is time. This one over here would be our temperature. Okay, so now we are ready to begin adding the data. Now that took quite a lot of time to get that ready, and that is where most people are going to make mistakes. So let's just make a few observations as we start. Our time intervals on the x-axis are going up in 5, 10, 15, 20, just like they were down our column. And we decided to use 2 boxes rather than just one, so that we had more space between them. It looked a little clearer. We've gone from 0 and we've gone all the way up to 50, even though our time doesn't go to 50, just so this graph looks nice and neat. And that's very different from our y-axis, which we realized our lowest value was 45, so we were nowhere near 0, and therefore it wasn't relevant to start at 0. So we started with this little wiggly line on the y-axis to show that we didn't start at 0, and then we started at 45. We didn't have a lot of room, so we had to go up in 2s, 47, 49, 51, 53, all the way up to 69, so we had plenty of room. Then we finally finished off by labeling our x and our y-axis with time and temperature. Now I'm ready to begin, and I'm going to start with the very first one. The time, 0, and the temperature is 65 degrees. So I'm looking on the x-axis for the 0, and that is obviously right here. So I look along this line, can't quite see where I'm drawing because there's a line already there, and I'm looking to try and find 65 degrees. So as I look up that line, I can see 65 is just there, so I put my x so that the center of the x lands right on those 2 joining lines. That's really important, so you can see that again. Next one is 5 and 62. So I'm now at 5 minutes, this line just here. I go all the way to 62. Now, 62 fits between 61 and 63, so my cross actually sits just there. Center of the cross being in the middle of that line, but still on the 5 line. Remember, this is the 5 line, so you can see as I go up the 5 line, my x fits perfectly, but then as I go across the 62, which is in the middle of those 2 boxes, it also fits perfectly. Next one is 10 and 59, so I can see 10, and I go up to 59, just like that, making sure they're on the right lines, and I've still got 2 spaces between them on the x-axis. Next one, 15 and 57. So 15 is just here. Go all the way up to 57, which is just there. Nice big cross. 20 and 55. 20, 55. And then 25, 53. 25, 53, just there. We can already start to see the pattern of our x's. 30 and 52. So now 30 and 52, the 52 sits between the 51 and 53 line, so it's in the middle just there, but it's on the 30 line. 35, 49 sits just there. And then 40 and 47 sits just here. And then the last one is 45 and also 47, so my cross would go just here. Now we're not quite finished. We've got all of our crosses in place. The last thing I need to do is go and get a ruler. I don't have that luxury. And then line them up point to point, drawing a nice straight line. You're going to do a much better job than I am at this to finish your line graph. Look how beautiful that looks. Everything is now complete. And what we could do is we could look at this line graph and now start to answer some questions. We could say, was the temperature decreasing over time? And we can say yes to that because we can see the temperature is dropping and dipping over time. We could also ask questions like, why do you think the temperature is 47 degrees at 40 minutes, but also 47 degrees at 45 minutes? Well, the answer might be that that was the room temperature, even though that seems pretty high. But there might be a reason, and therefore could be a question to ask. So that's how to create a line graph. Hopefully this was helpful. But now it's your turn. I've got another set of data here. This is the temperature, the air temperature, throughout a day. And we can see the day starts at 8 a.m. and finishes at 5 p.m. with this set of data. So your task is to get yourself some squared paper, or if you've not got that, just try and do your best job on some plain paper, and try and create a line graph that looks similar to the line graph that we created a moment ago. So press pause on the video now, take your time. If you need any help, go back to the parts of the video that gave you that help. Good luck. Press pause now. And there you have it. That is how to create a line graph. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, think about subscribing to the channel, or even better, go over to themathshelter.com where you're going to find loads more videos to help you with everything you need to know about your age group maths. But for now, guys, I'm going to see you in another video. Peace out.